And welcome to the CAPP Show. You can catch us live every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern on Brime at brime.tv/the CAPP_show. We are also on other social platforms such as Spotify, Rumble, and Twitter. Check out our link tree below. I'm Brent.
I'm Jeremy.
Welcome,
what's up, man?
Everybody. How's it going, dude?
Happy Sunday.
Yes, happy Sunday.
How's everybody doing out there?
I noticed we had a little bit of a glitch there, a little bit of a stutter.
Yeah, it's acting a little strange today. But right. I think we can do it.
Oh yeah.
We can do it.
Absolutely.
We will. The show must go on, as they say in show business. And neither one of us are actually show business people, but hey, whatever.
Not even close to it.
So today, guys, I think we got a good show scheduled for today. Normally before we start the show, Brent and I go over topics and everything, and we kind of do highlights. We didn't really do that today.
No.
We know the main topic. No. The main topic, as you can see in the description, we're going to talk about the Second Amendment in the United States. However, we're going to go in a little deeper than that. We're going to go gun laws and rights around the world a little bit. We're going to talk about that. And specifically, we're going to talk about here in the U.S. and in Canada, right? Since, well, I'm in the U.S. and
I'm in Canada.
There you go. So, but yeah, we're gonna talk about these things. These little pesky boogers here, and so I'm showing this on screen, and I'm making sure that I show that it's open and there is nothing in it. It's empty. Nothing. Okay? Show you I'm not holding a loaded weapon. But so we're gonna talk about that a little bit. Part of the reason I brought this, I brought this up, and I hit up Brent a few days ago because I saw something that kind of sparked my interest. It was a video that this guy did. His name, what's his name? Ami Horowitz from the Daily Wire. And basically what he was talking about, he was asking people in New York City if they had changed their minds or changed their opinions on guns based on the fact that the Ukrainian government had issued, I don't even know the number, a lot of guns to its citizens to help defend the country from the invasion, right? That's been a topic that we've discussed here on the channel.
Yep.
But I thought it was interesting because I saw this video and it kind of made me cringe a little bit, which
really,
Brent hasn't seen this yet.
I haven't seen this yet. I
have not told him. I just told him that he's he's in for a treat. So what we're gonna do is we're all gonna watch it together. I've seen it, but I want you guys to see this too. And we're going to let it play out because I'm slightly concerned with some of the things that I hear. But not everything.
Are you surprised?
No, not really. I was not surprised. Okay. So without further ado, here we go.
But in a world where the bad guys have them, I don't know. I kind of feel like the good guys need to have them too.
It's tricky. I don't know. I don't even think cops need them.
What?
Did you hear what she said? Can you hear it?
Yep. Oh, I'm in a little disbelief, but I hear it.
I'm Ami Horowitz, and one of the reasons why the Russian army has been stalled in Ukraine is because the Ukrainian government has armed Ukrainian citizens to fight against the Russians. I'm here in New York to ask people who are against the Second Amendment what they think of that policy. And one of the reasons why they were able to fight back so hard is because the Ukrainian government has been arming its people and saying, we're going to fight in the streets, we're going to push them back everywhere they are. Do you think that was a good idea?
Yeah, I think it was a good idea, like when it's a final resort to, protecting, like, the ones you love.
The Ukrainian government has been arming its citizens so they can fight the Russian army on the streets, in their homes, anywhere. Any thoughts on that?
I think that's good, probably, yeah. I mean, it's good they're not going silently.
I think it's a very great thing they're doing. Proud of them.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's great.
When I first read that, it was very upsetting to me because I'm very anti guns.
Yeah.
Like, it's very upsetting. But I'm very impressed by the way they've dealt with that. And I think it's really powerful the way they've come together.
If the citizens are able to drive out the Russian army with the guns, that means they worked.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I really do take pride in people like that, like with us being an allyship
Protecting
with them.
themselves.
Yeah, protecting themselves and their country is so much strength for them.
It's inspiring.
Yeah,
100%. If you're not willing to defend your lands, and they absolutely have, and they've done an absolutely beautiful job of it.
There is something about trying to defend your place of being able to try to defend themselves is very admirable and good.
Love it.
That's right. It's amazing what they've been doing that. You think that was a good idea?
I think that was a great idea.
In some ways, it make you kind of rethink your position on the Second Amendment here in the United States?
Not at all. Not really.
No? Why not?
I mean, I think. Is it okay if I go to class?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, have a good day.
But I actually
Didn't
have
wanna
to
answer.
going. Sorry about that.
I figured that that's what this was going to be about. I just think that there's a lot, and Ukraine is a very different country than America, and I just think it's largely about different factors involved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I do have to get to class.
No
I'm so
problem.
sorry.
I'll
I actually haven't given any thought to that, to be honest.
Now give some thought.
Yeah, I think I should definitely look into that a little bit more. I haven't even thought about that at all.
Watching what happened in Ukraine did make you think more about the Second Amendment.
For sure.
And the way that you may have changed the way you thought about it.
For sure.
It's definitely something to consider, because it's that's the only way that you can oppose a force like that. If you don't have it, then you're probably just going to get run over immediately.
Right.
Which is, it's true. It's definitely something to consider, and it's definitely something to add into the discussion of the Second Amendment.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think so. Makes you rethink a lot of things, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's definitely something to consider. That's I haven't thought about that. It's really interesting. Something to think on.
Yeah, but also brings focus to
Issues that you may not have thought about before, in that way.
I think it is something that we should be focusing on, and something that
But no, I mean, it is obviously everybody. I think everybody, when they see things like this, can't help but wonder.
And rethink maybe.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need an outside event to make you kind of reframe
Exactly.
your thinking.
Yeah.
This might be one of those.
It's true.
So this kid right here, when I first saw this, I was of the mind of this is probably a very, and this is not going to sound nice at all. So if you hate what I say, please leave us a comment and let me know. It made me think that he was just a weakling, a weak child that doesn't understand the world. That was my initial thought. However, I've had time to think about it, and I'm going to make an assumption here, and I'm going to assume that he started thinking about the tragic stories that we've seen in the U.S. and around the world, actually, due to gun violence.
Yeah.
And he was feeling sympathy for the people that have lost due to that. So I don't want to admonish the kid for any of, no matter what his reasoning is. It's obviously something that touched him. So I wanted to point that out because I like to share my thoughts on these things, and that was the initial thought that I had.
No, I appreciate that.
So now, having said that, what did you think about the video?
Yeah, not surprising. Not at all, actually. I mean, it's one. It's so hard because you always, like he said, you always have to have an outside, you know, something happen outside of your own country to kind of go, oh shit, maybe we do need something,
Mm-hmm.
right? But the question is it right? Is it right to actually do that?
What do you mean? Do that?
Like,
Do what?
to actually arm their citizens. Is that the correct action?
Oh,
Right?
okay. And I think that's a great question. That's a fair question to ask. Absolutely.
You know, it's and to me you can't compare. I mean, sorry. You can compare it, but it's an unfair comparison to do that. You know, give that argument for the Ukraine and them arming the Ukraine citizens, and then say, well, what about Canada or the US? Right? Because they're two totally different. You know, you look at Canada, you look at the US. Very strict gun laws here in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
There's four steps for sure you have to go through, right? And it takes no less than probably 3 months to get your license and your first firearm. That's a long time, right?
That is. That's a very long time.
You got to go through multiple background checks through the RCMP, a whole bunch of different things. Now, there's ways to circumvent that and stuff, but you know, the proper channels are those steps. And we've been raised with it, right? Like we hunt. That's what we do here. We hunt, we target practice, and we do have some of the baddest motherfuckers to ever be produced in the world. I think back to the world's longest sniper shot.
Yep.
Not just, you know, surpassing, was it I believe it was a British gentleman, but absolutely annihilating it.
Yeah.
You know, we're trained for that. Now, I can't say about Ukraine and how well their general citizens are trained, or how available weapons there, how often they use them. It's there's a huge difference between giving citizens like that and then citizens in the US primarily, who on average is at what, 40 guns per 100 person per 100 people or something like that. It's huge.
No, it's massive.
You got
Yeah.
300 and some million fucking guns there.
More than that.
For fun.
Yeah. A lot of them are
training
fun.
for fun. Right? Or sport.
A lot of them. Yeah. A lot of them are for fun and sport and hunting.
Do you honestly think that they would do that in the US or Canada? Arm their citizens? I don't believe they would.
Well, so that's a hard argument to have from a U.S. perspective, because we are pretty much armed to the teeth already, right? Now, if we take the exact same thing you said and we put that to any country that doesn't have we have well-regulated gun laws here. We really do.
Japan.
But yeah, a country that doesn't have any, or they have them so strict that you just know you don't have them at all, like Australia, for instance. Right?
Yeah.
And then you turn around and you hand every single citizen, you know, a gun to defend their country against an invader. I'm not sure that's a good idea, because exactly what you just said, you know, they're not trained for it. They don't understand it. I mean, here in the US, we've got clubs, we've got rednecks, hillbillies.
I just know if something were like that were to happen, not only in Canada and the US, there would be a lot of dead pedophiles. I'm just saying that
Oh,
straight
yeah.
out.
Yeah,
Right,
no.
that would
I
be
mean,
they'd be like, "War, what the fuck is that? I don't give a shit about that. I'm going hunting."
I grew up around these things, you know,
Yep.
I've known them all my life. Plus I was in the military, so I've been trained.
Yeah.
It is an interesting concept. And I do like the fact that some of the people in the video actually brought it up. You know, I never really thought of it that way. That's a good way to think about it. And that gives me more to think on. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to say that if you don't believe in guns, you're bad. No, I just want you to think about it. Use your brain. And I think there is a time and a place for everything.
Absolutely.
So
there we go. No, it's I mean, a country's got to do what they got to do.
They do. They do. I mean, you know,
but that also that also runs another risk, or
does.
I mean, huge safety risk, especially in a country like the Ukraine with Russia and how unreliable those governments are for accountability. So the question is what's going to happen to all these weapons at the end of it? Do they have
That's a question that I've been pondering.
Is that do they have an account of every weapon that they've handed out? Because if not, well, I mean, there goes what if it's 5,000, say at least 25% of that to the black market,
if not more.
If not more.
Yeah, no, that's
right.
That's a
that's my question.
No, I think it's a great question. And I don't
and
believe
I don't mean they're going to do that, but
no. But what I don't believe that the right people. I don't believe that people are asking that question. It's not. I don't mean to say right people. That I don't believe people in general are asking that question, or if they are, it's not being answered and it's not being broadcast.
Yeah,
you know.
I haven't heard anybody ask that yet.
Not anywhere in the media. I haven't seen any of that.
No.
I think I've seen some independent folks on Twitter. That's about it.
Yeah. No, it strikes me that nobody questions that. Because to me, that's a big concern.
It is.
Right?
Definitely is. But then again, because we're not seeing the reports, maybe there's more accountability is there.
Could be. Yeah.
Maybe they're accounting for everything. Maybe they know exactly who's getting them.
I hope the hell they do.
Right? So you're felons and your people that are out on parole or whatever they do over there are not getting them. Yeah. You know, the guys that are, you were convicted for armed robbery. Here's an AK-47.
Yeah. We need to go.
Probably not a good idea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, definitely not. But that might be customary there. You never know.
It might be.
I've never been there.
I haven't either. I've never been to an Eastern Bloc country.
No kidding.
I've been to Germany. That's about it.
Yeah, there's
as far as European countries. Well, I've been to Germany, Luxembourg, Belgium.
Oh, okay.
France, Austria. I think it's about it.
Wow. Jesus. It's more than I've never been over there.
Well, I lived in Germany for 3 years, but.
Oh, okay.
I've also done a lot of work travel to Europe.
Oh, nice.
We just had a team get back from Norway. They were in Norway for a week, 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Something like that.
So question for you, because
Sure.
I'm not in the US. So can you run us through a procedure to get a license?
A
So you can
license?
buy, so you can buy a gun.
Oh,
Like,
that's easy.
okay.
It's actually pretty easy. So I can go down to the local gun store, pick
Yep.
one. Doesn't matter. There's a lot of them here. I go to the particular one I go to is Springs Armory. It's veteran owned and operated, and they run pretty close to cost. So
Okay.
their overhead, their markup is only enough to cover overhead and employees, and maybe for her to make a little bit of a profit because it is a business.
You have to make a bit.
Yep. But no, you go in and you have this. It's like a 3 to 4 page form for the ATF that you have to fill out.
Right.
And it's for each purchase. You can't do one search for, like, say you go in to buy 4 guns.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, if you've got that kind of money, more power to you. You have to fill it out 4 times. So each
Wow,
one
okay.
is for one firearm. Period. And once you do that, they scan it and they run it through the system because it's all on paper.
Yep.
You know, because you got to sign it and everything. They scan it, run it through the system. And when I bought mine a couple years ago, it took 3 days to get back.
Wow.
So I put a deposit down on the gun just to hold it.
Oh, okay.
Once the paperwork came back, you know, and then they tagged it and they put it in the back so nobody else could buy it. Once my paperwork came back and it was good to go, I just went and paid the rest of it and took it home. That was 3 days.
Shit.
Now, it takes about an hour, maybe 2 hours at the most.
Wow. So here, well, first off, you have to take the safety course. Straight up. Everybody that purchases one has to take a safety course. Once you pass that, then they do there's some places that do a safety exam. Right?
Okay.
Then you have to send out your application. So once you get your once you complete your safety course, then you can submit the form plus I think it's $80 to get your PAL or your RPAL, which is your restricted firearms. So PAL stands for Position and Acquisition, and RPAL is the Restricted Position and Acquisition License. So that's to buy your firearm and your ammo and all that. So it's funny because there's a minimum of 28-day waiting period for all applicants who are not who don't presently hold a firearms license. Yeah.
Interesting.
So once you set in for individuals applying for the first firearms license, there should there's a form that they have to use. And when they first do it, there's a I think it's a minimum. Let me just double check. The RCMP requires a minimum of 45 days to process a firearms license. So once you get your course and you send out your PAL for your PAL, there's a minimum of a 45-day wait process for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. It's quite a bit. Right? But we still have a shit ton of fucking gun crime. Why? Because it's not the
law-abiding citizens that are doing it.
It's like, so the process is like doors and locks, or like locks on your windows and your doors, right? They only keep the honest thieves out.
Yeah.
That's
true.
all it's for.
That's true.
Right? That's the way I look at that.
True. Yeah.
I
mean,
I go online. Right? You can go online. People can go online, and I mean, I've heard stories of it. I don't know anybody, and I don't know how to do it, and I don't recommend it, and I don't condone it. But faking all these documents and shit, and then going and doing private sales or purchases. That's how the underground works. Cash, no paper trail. It just blows my mind that the general public can't get their head around that. The process doesn't stop the illegal crimes from happening and the illegal guns from coming and going. All you're doing by all these more gun laws is you're pissing off the people that want them for why? Protection, a lot of them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the reasons I have mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got ours.
Action.
You know,
they're also in my nature, right? I grew up with them. Like I said earlier, I grew up around guns. I grew up shooting them. I grew up understanding gun safety.
Yes.
Number one thing that I was always taught: never, ever, ever point your firearm at anything unless you intend to destroy it.
Yep.
Anything. That includes a human being.
Yep. Unless you're ready to pull that trigger, do not.
Don't even do it.
My son, I teach him all the time. He's into airsoft a lot too, so.
Well, it's good. I think airsoft is a good way to teach a lot of that because it is a safer environment, right? It is a safer weapon, if you will.
Yes, absolutely, dude. I wish they had that when I was younger.
You and me both. We had BB gun wars.
That's BB gun wars. Yep, absolutely, man.
You'd wear all your winter shit in the middle of summer. Ski goggles, masks.
Listen, that's called safety. We didn't know what the fuck that was.
Okay.
So
that was later when we first did it. It was just what we were wearing. And then we started noticing that would hurt a lot more. So.
Oh yeah, one of our friends got one right here. Right there. We told them not to go in the little dugout, and they went in the dugout. The only thing, first thing that pops up, of course, you're gonna shoot.
Yeah, that's true. So and that's interesting. We have kind of the same thing that we have to go through for concealed carries in many states. You have a waiting period. You have to go through a special investigation through the county sheriff generally. You have to have attended a concealed carry course within X amount of time. And then it's only good for a period of time. It's like, really? Only good for a period of time? What?
Really?
So, okay, whatever. But
Costco membership.
It's like, okay, sure. whatever floats your boat, man. But yeah, that's interesting. But here in the US, it's actually pretty simple. Now, it used to be there's a huge misconception out there, and there's a lot of people that I've heard say, yeah, but in the US, you guys just go to gun shows. You buy them right there. You walk in and you find a gun you want. You just pay the money and walk out. No, that's not how that works. Federal law still stands in gun shows. They still have to run a full background check. Even private cells are supposed to go through a background check.
Same here.
So there's a lot of people say, well, you can do it. Like, well, yeah, you can. It's illegal. But then again, the people that are committing the gun crimes are doing it illegally anyway.
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
It's just.
I found that video. Sorry, I found that video funny because I mean, of course, and that just shows like, okay, I don't want to sound like an asshole here, but most of them just went, "Oh, sorry, I got to go to class," of course, because like most things, most people don't actually do their research on it. Right?
Yeah. A lot of people don't.
No, no, and I mean I've come across arguments that people are like, well, they argue one thing, and because they don't take in everything into consideration, right? And that's the whole reflect on it. If you don't know, don't give an answer. Just say, hey, listen, I have no idea. Let me research that and I'll get back to you.
Right. And that, and I like to use my phrase that I use a lot is I don't know for sure, but here's my opinion.
Yeah.
Here's what I think. Right.
Yep.
So I will say what I think. Most oftentimes at work, they say, please don't tell us what you think.
Did you tell them the earth was flat?
Yeah. Yeah. All of our satellites are just literally in one spot.
Well, exactly. That. So that argument always gets me. I love that one.
Yeah, that's
well, but
fantastic,
the
isn't
curvature
it?
of the Earth, and you should be able to see it at this. Listen, motherfucker, you're doing it at how many miles squared? Yeah, I understand, but
it's
that's
like
not how.
Hello, McFly.
That was
Hello?
for measurement of a parabola. That's not what we are.
Oh man, you're throwing out some big words today.
Oh, dude, no, I've heard arguments of that whole flat Earth shit, and it boggles my mind that people just don't understand physics.
Water
doesn't bend. Go to Home Depot and buy a fucking level. There is an air bubble in there, and you tell me what the water is doing around the bubble.
See, now you're just talking crazy talk.
Square.
Now you're just talking crazy talk.
No, I love that whole. But yeah, no. Like just the way they immediately were like, no, sorry, I gotta go to class.
Well, I mean, so okay. To be fair, 90% of the world does not just dig through everything, right? So, for instance, right? If you were to ask, if I were to ask you, what is the standard orbit altitude for geosynchronous orbit? Have you ever thought to look that up?
No.
Okay, that's kind of my point,
but,
right?
But
so
here's the problem with a guy like me, asshole. Now I'm gonna go fucking do a whole shit ton of research on that. My wife.
This is why we're friends, guys.
My wife is gonna hate you.
So I can tell you it's 36,000 meters, or excuse me, kilometers. 36,000 kilometers. So it's about 23,000 miles. That is the geosynchronous. That is called the geo arc. That is around the equator. It's an equatorial. The geo arc is an equatorial altitude.
Okay.
And so what it does is basically it allows the satellite to sit and rotate with the Earth. So it's actually rotating at the same speed as the Earth is. That's why when you look at it from the ground, it looks like it's not moving. It may be doing this to you.
Yep.
But that's just gravitational waves causing it to oscillate. Anyway, but my point is that a lot of these, and they were college students because they kept, I got to get to class. All right. So they're college students. So I'm not going to sit and rag on them for, well, you just don't understand. Okay. And that's fair. You know, using that as an excuse instead of saying like exactly what you said is, look, I don't know. I really don't have an answer for this. And leave it at that and move on. I think that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But some people feel that they have to answer for everything. I got to tell them something. No, you don't.
No.
That's one of the things I've been trying to teach my kids, like job interviews.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, oh, well, what if they ask me this? I don't know that. And I'm like, then tell them you don't know.
Be honest.
Well, I have to tell them something. I'm like, no, you don't. Because if you're lying and you're bullshitting, they're going to know.
Look, one thing I've learned from a very young age, especially with employers, and I think a lot of a lot of companies are starting to realize it now, because it used to be, when they were hiring for skill, right?
Yep.
You come in, these are the clear-cut answers you want. But I think a lot of them are starting to realize, look, I would much prefer a loyal employee that might not be as well educated than somebody that's overeducated and thinks that they know what's best for the company when they don't even know the direction the company wants to go.
Yep.
Right? It's
exactly right.
A lot of companies, the guys running the top have never done the grunt work.
Right. And
Right.
and it kind of leads into what you and I was kind of mentioning a little bit before we started, is a lot of people don't know the difference between these two items, right? These two different firearms. And what's the difference between these two ballistics? What's the ballistics on these? If you're looking at the cartridge, right? You're like, well, I don't really understand what the difference. I understand what they look like. One's a standard, just a ball round, and the other one looks like it's a hollow point. Yeah, it is. But what is the significance of that? Some people don't understand that, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I don't expect all of our viewers out there and listeners to know what the difference between a hollow point and a standard round is. Now, I'm going to tell you, but I don't expect you to understand it. So the difference between the two, almost dropped it. This one that is not a hollow point. This is a standard ball round, and this is what's called a target round. I call this a target round because it's just meant to be shot at targets, and it will keep going until it hits something to where it will not go any further. It'll keep going, right? So these are exceptionally not good, or especially not good, because if you have a home intruder, you have an intruder in your house, and you have no choice, and you have to use your weapon, this has a chance to go through them, through the wall, and into the house next door. Right? So anything behind that person, this is going to go into or through. Okay? So that's very important. These two have the exact same velocity. These two, exact same velocity, because they have the exact same grain behind them. So the initial launch velocity is the same. Now, the hollow point. The hollow point is designed, as a viewer said in chat, becomes a pancake. It's kind of like a pancake. It mushrooms out like a mushroom. Okay. And what it does is it takes that kinetic energy and disperses it over a larger area. So when it hits your first target, it transfers all that kinetic energy to that target. And it is not designed to go through, so it's designed to hit and stop. That's why it flattens out. So that's why this is considered a home defense round. The hollow point is considered a home defense round, or a defensive round in general, because it will not majority of the time, 99% of the time, it will not pass through your target. So if something is behind them, chances are it won't get hit.
Which is very important.
Very important. Very important. So, and these are pistol rounds. So these are only for handguns. Rifle rounds, whole different discussion. I'm really not prepared to get into that, because that gets into some stuff that I'm not fully up to speed on. I just know that it's great for game and hunting and long range target. trying to say how can I say this and not risk getting banned on any platform?
Breaking records.
For yes, for breaking records and for
Sport.
elimination of targets at distance. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, so I wanted to make sure that I kind of covered that a little bit based on the discussion of, hey, people are not educated, they don't understand these things, and that's fine. That's fine. Remember, don't ever be afraid to say I don't know. Never be afraid of that. If I've
I don't
learned
know a
anything,
lot.
the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know a lot.
Yep. I think but that's the key to growing.
It is. Agree.
Right. That's yeah. So would you the question being now, obviously as a firearms owner yourself, if something ever happened, go back to what's going on in the Ukraine, of course, I already know your answer. You'd be the first one to step up. All he wants to know is where's the ammo.
I don't know.
You think so?
That's actually a good question. If you'd asked me that question 10 years ago, I'd have said yes. Hey, send me to the front lines. I want to fight. Now I would stay and protect my family. Because an invasion opens up opportunities for a lot of different things.
Yes, it does.
Not just the invaders, but you have to think of your individuals on the inside that are already there, and opportunistic individuals, we will say.
Yep.
So they'll see that as a chance to take advantage of whatever they want.
Yeah. Very
saw, and you actually see it in Ukraine.
Yeah.
There's been stories published in Ukraine.
Oh, really?
There was one. He was a looter. He was running around one of the cities in Ukraine, and the citizens caught him, duct taped his ass to a light post.
Oh, wow.
Until the police got there.
Good.
The citizens did this. If you come to my house to loot my house, you're not leaving. No, you're not leaving the property. I promise you that. Because if we're in a war, I'll make sure you're out of the house. That's about it.
Nope. Yeah. I hope that never happens.
No, me neither.
Never.
What about you? You're younger than I am. If something like that happened in Canada, what would you do?
Oh, I have to be very careful here.
Let's say you had the means. Let's say, just throw it out there, like you've got you've got a small arsenal of your own.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's say
that
you do. Just for hypothetical reasons, you've got one, and now you got shit being invaded.
The first place I am not going is to the government to help them. As a citizen that has been fucked over for many, many years by the said government, you were the last assholes that I would ever protect. Families first. And when I say family, I don't just mean blood.
Yep.
Same
here.
If I had the resource, absolutely. Have I already thought about stuff like that ever happening? Yeah. Have I ever prepared for it? Kind of.
I mean, it's
Um,
so that's a hard
I'm-
question to answer, though. That last one you just said, have I prepared for it?
and this
You've
is the-
prepared. You can prepare as much as you think you know.
well, that's exactly it. That's why I say kind of, because until that situation happens, you never know.
Right.
Unbeknownst to my family, which I'm one of those people that the less they know about anything, the better.
Yeah, certain.
You know, if something ever happened.
Yeah. In
Right.
certain situations, yeah, I agree with that.
Would I protect them? The only way they're getting to them is through me. Period.
Let's see. What's the saying? From my cold dead hands.
Yes, absolutely. There wouldn't be a chance in hell. Like I say, I have prepared as best I can. Do I have 6 months of food? No. No, but I know how to hunt. You know, I can build a hell of a fucking house in the woods out of fuck all.
I don't know if I could build a house, but I could build shelter.
Oh, fuck yeah. No. Me and my brother used to build shit all the time. You know, I've got my crew. You know, we all have a group of friends that, know certain things.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't have any of those.
No, but I know an engineer. I know.
I was
guy
being
that
a
can fix
smart
bunch
ass.
of shit. I know guys that can transport stuff. I know guys. No, but there's
I have a
We have
brotherhood
friends.
of a few thousand special operations and special forces brothers that I can lean
Hey.
on. So
yeah. Well, it's one of those
I
things.
know what you
right?
mean.
We all have friends.
I know people.
Yeah. Never. God forbid you ever have to help. Be in that circumstance where you've all agreed to that thing.
Yeah.
Hopefully that never happens.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
if it did, obviously my family would be number one priority. Not a chance in hell would I stand up for the government.
Yeah, and I think that's a very valid statement.
Because
I think it's
thing is the government themselves. What have they actually done for me? Nothing. It's the people of the country that have done it. They've employed me. They've given me my stuff. They're the ones that bring the stuff to the fucking grocery stores. They're the ones that build the grocery store. They're the ones that run the fucking country. It's just the dumb shits in charge,
yeah. No, that's true.
right?
That's true.
And even and the thing is, they're just people like us. That's what people have to realize. They hold all these guys into high regard and shit. Fuck no, they're people like us.
Yeah, they are. I've come in contact with some of them. I come in contact with our local representative for the House of Representatives in DC. There was a function going on, and I won't go into details, but he came up. He was going through the audience, and he had his bodyguards with him, his Secret Service people, whoever the fuck they were. And he was coming up, and he was shaking people's hands, and doing the kissing babies and shaking hands type of thing that you hear about. And there were no baby kissing, but he was shaking hands and talking to people. And he came up to reached out to shake my hand. And I looked at his hand. I looked at him and I said, "I'm not shaking your fucking hand." Exactly how I said it. And he said, "Excuse me?" I said, "I think you heard what I said. I tell you what, go back to DC, do your fucking job that you've been elected for. Then I might consider shaking your hand. Until then, you can fuck off."
Yeah.
And he was just like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this guy talked to me that way."
You
and
privileged little fuck.
Yeah, his little bodyguards just kind of stood there and just kind of watched. And I'm like,
And
Move
they're
on.
probably thinking the exact same thing of what you
Probably.
just said to him. It's like, fuck.
I'm like,
No. Oh. I could never want that.
no,
You know?
I've had people say you should run for office, and go do something. I'm like, no, I got too many skeletons in the closet that I don't
Yeah.
want. I don't want out.
No.
You know,
No.
there's a lot about Jeremy that you guys don't know, and we're going to keep it that way.
I have a clean record.
I have a
That's all
clean
you
police
need to know.
record. I have a clean record. I wouldn't have my job if I didn't, because
No.
I work for the U.S. government and I have a security clearance. So,
Yeah. But
what level it
Yeah.
is, I'm not going to tell you guys. That's none of your concern.
I don't want to know.
No,
See,
you
shit
don't.
like that, you don't want to know.
No, you don't.
No,
But-
no, not at all.
It's more of a yeah. So politicians suck. They suck. I hate them. Suck.
I agree.
But I am curious as to what you guys think about. Tell me what your thoughts and opinions are of arming citizens in case of war or at time of invasion. I'm kind of curious as to what you guys think about this.
Yeah, tweet us a message. DM us if you feel more comfortable doing that. Email us, cappshow@gmail. CAPP Show, the CAPP Show on Twitter, Rumble, YouTube, anywhere that you can leave a message, leave it. We are also on Spotify, right?
Yes, we are. Yeah,
I'm working
absolutely.
on getting us on Apple.
We love to see messages. We love to hear from our viewers.
Yeah.
Tell us what you want to hear from us. Tell us, and what you like and what you don't like. I mean,
Yeah.
we want to know so we can improve the show and give you guys something to look forward to every week.
Yeah, give us drop some topic ideas. Nothing's off the table. Really?
No, literally.
If it's a sensitive subject, of course, we're gonna have to discuss it and see what direction we can go with it if we can.
Yep.
Because we also
Definitely
have to
do
be
that.
careful.
We keep our minds open and we like to talk about everything, but we also want to make sure we adhere to the terms of service for the platforms that we're on.
Yes.
And we want to make sure that we get the word out to you guys the best we can. Yeah. So one of these days, I've been thinking about it.
Uh-oh.
We're going to talk about history of religions a little bit.
Oh boy.
There's a key word in there. History of religions. We're going to talk about that. Don't know when yet,
I'm looking forward to it.
but it's coming. So when I was in high school and in college, back in the late 1980s, I actually had a couple of classes on history of religion, and it was quite fascinating. One in high school was taught by a Baptist preacher.
Oh wow.
Probably one of the most open-minded preachers I've ever talked to in my entire life.
Really? Yeah, I'm really interested in that then.
Yeah, so it was quite interesting. I learned quite a bit. And I think it'll be a nice learning experience. And we won't get through everything because there's a lot of religions out there, but we'll touch on some of the big ones.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. No, that works. That'll be.
stay tuned for a future episode on that. That is coming.
Yes.
That is coming.
I'm already looking forward to it.
So,
'Cause, yeah.
with that, I don't really have. Oh, I almost forgot.
Oh,
We were going to
dear
talk about Twitter.
Haha. Yes.
We're going to talk about Twitter real quick before we take. I was about to sign off. Fuck that. We're not
Oh.
done yet.
Right. I was like, hang on. We were going to talk about one other thing. Yes.
Yeah.
Twitter.
Dude, you got to remind me of these things too, and don't feel bad to chime in and cut me off.
Look. Friday was a little bit of for me. It was a bit of a rough day, if you will.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, it was my brother's fifth year death anniversary, if you will. So my mind wasn't exactly around the show.
Yeah, no, I get it.
A little bit better, but it's just one of those things. But yeah, Twitter. God damn
Twitter.
God damn Elon. I love him.
Elon Musk has not disappointed us yet again.
No.
So for those of you that don't know, back earlier this week, Elon Musk bought 9.2% of Twitter. He is now the largest shareholder of Twitter. He owns more than the founder of Twitter. The founder of Twitter owns like 2%.
Yeah. Yeah.
He owns 9.2. And he set the internet on fire with his tweets. And I just
his
oh my God. And the liberal media went ape shit. Oh my God, they brought up so many different things about
okay, which now he's had a few different tweets over the last little bit, right?
Yes.
Now, are we talking about his last one where he says they need to turn San Francisco's Twitter headquarters into a shelter for all the
I did
homeless?
not see that
shows up
one.
anyway.
I did not see that one.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Here, let's see. Let me just
Let me see.
Here.
Oh yeah, there it is. Converts Twitter's San Francisco headquarters to homeless shelter since no one shows up anyway.
Right here.
Yep. Delete the W in Twitter.
Yeah. He
holy shit.
Jesus Christ. So 20 hours. What did he put here? So he says, everyone signs up for Twitter Blue, i.e. pays $3 a month, should get an authentication check mark.
Yeah.
Blue already has modifiable 20-second time. He just, that's why I love him. He doesn't hold back. He doesn't give a fuck. But what really
this
got
should
me
be
was
different from public figure or official account check mark. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that, actually.
I do too.
That's a good one.
What's funny, so back in April 9th, what is that, today? Yesterday. So April 9th, where are we here? Most of these here, I'll share this because this is actually pretty funny. I think so. So he says most of the top accounts tweet rarely and post very little content. Is Twitter dying? So he shows all these. Then he says, for example, and he tags them. Then that's the beautiful thing, right? That's the beautiful thing. He hasn't posted anything in 3 months. And Bieber's only posted once this entire year. Like he doesn't care. You go, mind you, his Twitter. I love his Twitter feed.
Oh yeah, his Twitter feed is awesome.
Right. Like his shit is just, I don't know. It's on another level.
Yeah.
But yeah. I absolutely love that, man. I mean, he gets a lot of flack and a lot of hate. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, it does, right? Because usually when somebody hates you, that's their insecurity coming out.
Right. Right.
right? Or jealousy.
So, you know, of course, when this happened, you know, the all the comedy had to come out, and you had all the satire hitting. This was my favorite. This was absolutely my favorite. I retweeted this one.
Oh, that's great.
CNN. Elon Musk could threaten free speech on Twitter by literally allowing people to speak freely.
Yeah.
That is so good. And then the first comment that you see says CNN 1980 to 2021 choked on its
Nice.
own bullshit and ran out of editors.
Oh shit.
Oh my god, it's shit like that. Oh,
Well, does anybody truly watch the news anymore?
I don't know.
Sorry, I know my mother-in-law does.
I mean, so I don't really watch the news. I peruse other things and
fair enough.
I get my information piecemealed here and there through a little bit of media and online stuff. But then I dig into it to figure out what's true and what's not.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I kind of, I don't know. I mean, I listen to the radio here, and it's all talk radio, and it's, I mean, it's fucking horrible. Let's be honest.
it
You
is.
know, you got hosts and shit promoting. You know, please call in, give us your side. You know what you think. We want to promote. You know, open and honest discussion. And then the second you say something that, you know, not even goes completely against what they're saying, just might hint that there might be an explanation for what they're saying, or, you know, contrary to what they're saying. It's, oh, conspiracy theorists. Where do you get all your information off? Facebook? No, motherfucker, off the channel that you're speaking on, right?
Yeah.
Like, there is no such thing anymore, and there hasn't been for a long time. Now there used to be, right? There was
Used
a
to be.
place there used to be a place and a show that you could actually call into, give your opinion. Of course, you're going to get flack, but you know what? And that was on Sirius Satellite Radio, the Howard Stern Show. Okay, I haven't.
He's kind of shifted directions, though.
Oh fuck, man! One of the biggest hypocrites I've ever heard of.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
Big
disgusting
time.
to be honest with you.
Big time.
I, you know, you think back, shit. Now I'm probably gonna say a name that a lot of people are not gonna know who it is. He's still, I believe, on the air in Florida, but him and so Howard Stern and Bubba the Love Sponge. No,
I don't know. I've never been a Howard Stern fan, so
the shit that they used to do on those shows. Wow. And he, like I say, he's one of the largest hypocrites I've ever seen. And even Robin that works with him. I don't know. I used to love her when you know, years ago, but I actually stopped subscribing to Sirius probably, well, it's gotta be 8 or 9 years ago now.
yeah, it's been a number of years since I've been subscribed.
Yeah, I was gonna get another subscription, and then I follow Stern on all this other shit, and as soon as he started, shifting as far as he did, and I think that was the key. He shifted very far to where he used to be.
Yep. I mean, gone are the days where, you know, everybody was, for the most part, they were all on the same path.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
anymore,
No.
it's just like, how extreme can I be? I'm going to be extreme right. Well, I'm going to be extreme
Oh.
left.
Yep.
And I'm like, fuck all y'all.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Just leave me be.
Yeah.
I just let me work, let me provide for my family, and I won't break any rules. Leave me the fuck alone.
Yep. Just want to be left alone.
That's all. Unfortunately, with the way some of these parents have raised their children, that will never happen.
Well, I'm hoping that there is some. I'm hoping that there is a little bit of recovery from all of that, but we'll see.
I hope so.
We'll see. And maybe we're just seeing things wrong. I don't know. Maybe we are. Maybe things are going on the path that they need to go for us to develop as a species.
Yeah.
Never know.
No.
I don't
know. No, I don't think I want to know.
I don't know. As I get older, though, I am starting to better understand why Yoda just died because Luke was asking him so many fucking questions.
Yeah.
He just like,
It's overwhelming.
I'm just gonna die, and you're asking too many questions.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, my time's up. See ya.
Exactly.
You have run.
Exactly.
Your credit card has now exceeded its maximum
No
limit.
more questions. No more questions. Rest. Sleep. I need rest. Yes,
shit.
rest. All right.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. I think that's where we're going to call it a day here.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. Give us our finish speech.
As
there,
always,
Brent.
Try not to be an asshole. If you do, make sure they deserve it. And always receive, reflect, respond. I wish everybody the best of next week. Yeah. All the best to you guys, your families. Hopefully everything goes good for you. Jeremy, anything you'd like to add?
Nah, thanks for hanging out with us today. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please leave a comment. Hit us up on Twitter. Hit us up on the emails. All of our social platforms. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great week. And love y'all. Have a good one.
Have a great one, guys.
Bye, everybody.